Throw Gang, we are joined by the fainting pharaoh, Lauren Schlossman, and myself, the Citi Bike Sultan, James Harris. Welcome to the weekly Running of the Boys with today's full episode only available on patreon.com/throwingfits. Lawrence, how was your week?
Good. I kind of, not that I'm here to backseat drive and tell you how to do your job, but the Baron of blacking out.
Well, I don't want people to think that you it's like a drunken blacking out, like you fainted.
Well, okay, no spoilers.
Yeah, you blacked out once, and then you stumbled and bumbled and fumbled your way into
another blackout. Well, I'm going to tell. I'm going to tell the story.
Cool. All right. Before we get into Larry blacking out, before we get into Jimmy simping on the timeline, before we get into Dave Portnoy generously gifting us our IP back, apparently, and so much more. Let's get into a fit check.
Yeah. So we potted twice today. So
thanks, I'm so beat.
So there are going to be two promo pics of me wearing the same fit, and that fit was, go for it.
Well, I accidentally texted the boys only promo fit pic to Kathleen from Chickies.
And I'm flexing, where I'm literally I look like a fucking little giant.
She's we're talking about some other shit, and all of a sudden this fucking dumbass photo shows up where I'm holding a sneaker with oven-proof mitts.
Right.
Yeah.
It was. Damn, she's probably regretting every decision that has led her to the point of becoming friends with us. I wore our legacy camion boots to the crib. Everyone's been asking about the boots.
They're the best.
Our guest had them that we recorded with earlier.
We're not behind the paywall yet.
They are.
I have the mules.
And you got the mules.
What talk about is that they're so fucking comfortable.
Dude, I could not, and they're not cheap, but it is Legace. The quality is there. I fucking love them, and even if I am aware that it's 90+ degrees in the streets, I don't know if I'm going to be able to put them down. But anyway, our legacy...
The Yoker has another fucking slapper on his hands.
Yeah, now I need a fucking pair of Cuban heels like you as well. You are influencing me, I guess, here. Well, this is the new normal.
Do you want to hear I don't know if we're going to be those guys, but a tweet that I deleted, that I drafted, sat on, and deleted.
You know that's my vibe. Go for it, King.
Well, I didn't. I never tweeted it. I deleted the draft.
You deleted the draft. You went scorched earth in your own drafts.
I must be circa 2003. The Rock's Havana-based cousin. The way I be rocking these Cuban heels.
Terrible tweet. Absolutely dog shit. Our legacy camion boots sitting outside because I am a respectful guest. I have on the Nike Dry Fit, or as noted, guest of a former podcast endeavor that shall not be named, Gashi would say the Drifties. I have on vintage Levi 501s. I have on a Gitman vintage Campy with a nice tennis motif. Classic Grail. The underwear are Supreme Hanes as always. And if the last summer was the summer of Bandana Larry, Beater Larry.
Oh my God. First of all, you can't say that. It's
well,
Italian-American.
Can I say that one of the reasons you know that it's such an iconic thing is that every nickname for it is so offensive. Yeah. Guinea tea,
Italian-American tea,
wife beater,
domestic violence tea.
Yeah, there's probably got to be other.
How about just ribbed tank top?
Ribbed tank.
Also, so you don't know this, because you're a boomer. You're not on TikTok.
Sure.
But every fucking dude that's on TikTok that's and they all follow us. They're like, yo, how to step up your style this summer. It's always tanked, ribbed underwear, white, whatever the fuck, guinea tee, tucked into some vintage jeans with a camp collar over
the GTL
it.
tuxedo.
And they're like, yeah, and this is just so, from the boardroom to the bar, you can button it up, you can go to the beach, and it's just the most
from the brothel to the bar.
Exactly. So you are a statistic, and you would know this if you adapted to the times and got with it and jumped on the TT with me.
Even if I'm not on TikTok, I am not completely living under a rock. I'm aware of Harry Styles. I am aware of every fuckboy, e-boy from Uptown to fucking Dime Square. I know it's a thing that's happening. I'm not trying to take credit for it. I will say that who should take credit is really you. We were on a shoot, and we wanted to create some kind of sexy kind of dusk-esque looks, whatever, I was gonna say mixology, but not that.
No.
But I was like, holy shit, I haven't owned a beater in years. Do you have any? I also I can't believe should I admit this in front of the paywall? I also asked a friend of mine, who we've talked about on the pod before. I don't want to say too much, but I told you this, and you're like, oh, did you ask him because he's black?
You're putting the fucking.
And I was like,
damn,
that
demon
did
on
I?
me, Ricky Bobby.
Anyway, so I asked you, and you said, and so my buddy didn't have one.
I can't believe you called me out for that.
And then you were like, yo, I don't have any rib tanks, but I have just a similar style, but just a clean tank.
Yeah.
And I wore it under a sport coat, and bro, maybe it is like, listen, I'm not the waifish twink that I once was, but I still feel good about myself. And yo, this shit, it's like a male corset. I kind of feel like I'm on some sexy hot boy shit. So thanks to you, I went and copped just a bunch of a Hanes pack for myself. And I don't know, man. We were walking out around a lot today, got a little sweaty, popped this guy on, opened the shirt up, take the fucking flexing pic for Kathleen, apparently. And I feel like I've unlocked, and I know everyone else is doing this, but I feel like I've unlocked a sexiness in myself that, like, yo, I feel confident, I feel good, I look good, I'm potting good.
I'm going to start sending you all these TikToks just to, because, look, you used to think I was your biggest hater. Turns out I'm your biggest influencer. The Cubans.
I can't believe that it's happening.
Tops.
Yeah.
I know. Here we
Damn.
are.
So that's for me. And then the hat.
hat.
The hat is it ain't easy being sleazy trucker from our boy Isaac. So thank you, Isaac, for the free hat. Happy to wear it on the show. I love it. Love a little trucker with the rodeo with the rope as well.
A little lasso. The rodeo. All right. I was wearing. I guess I can do footwear, right? Because we were like out and about today.
Sure, 100%.
I was wearing. Shout out, you are Ryan. I am one of 10 people in the U.S.
Bro, crazy.
With a pair of the. They're not like, it's like a dusty blaze orange. I mean, it's like red, but it's like
they're pretty fucking blazed out. I want to go dusty.
It's not blaze.
The mint version is very dusty.
Yeah, the mint is like what you have.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a sage. It's like not a crate. It's not like turned up to 10. It's not like fucking night vision. Blaze orange, Reebok, DMX, Trail Runners.
They're not
out. They're like Japan exclusive. 1 in 10 people in the US with them. Fucking can't stop flexing because I'm committed to the Fitbit. That's gonna be a Fitbit captain later on.
Okay. Thanks. Keep that one in drafts too, dog.
But apparently all fall winter 21 is going to be a kind of like in this vein.
More people have asked in the comments or whatever, and I'm sure your DMs are lit up too, that comment on this footwear, which are sneakers, right? And oh my God, the post-sneaker world. Guys, shut the fuck up. But yo, I feel like those are always, when you wear them, you are the belle of the ball.
Yeah, and they're so comfortable.
Did you thirst after this pair, or did he already know? Because this is Nicole McLaughlin's man's.
Boyf. It was inbound flow for me.
Nice.
He was like, yo, I just came up on these in a size 9 because he knows I'm a 9.
Right.
Do you want them? I was like, fuck yes. Are you
They're
fucking
sick.
kidding me?
They're awesome.
I thirsted after the greens a little bit, and then when we potted with Nicole, he's like, yo, this is the best seating I've ever done because you fucking wear them all the time.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, I literally take screenshots of people thirsting after in the comments and include it in like presentations and like pass it around and shit. Because like, people
closed mouth doesn't get fed. You wore them to the event, even at 316.
I did.
Yeah.
I did, which we'll recap hopefully in front of the paywall. Okay. Mon Italy, linen. I wouldn't even call these pants, bro. These are bloomers. These are fucking...
Jimmy B. Bloom.
There's only like...
Bloom and Bunyan.
There's only like... There's only like 3 or 4 pairs of pants I can wear in this like 90-degree ass heat. Like I run
without
hot.
Your AC.
I can't do jeans like you.
Yeah.
This is one of them. And then up top, the fucking Outlegache. This is from last spring summer. It's based off like a cafe napkin.
You've been going hard with these like I don't want to say dusty because we were just talking, but these reds. Like, and I know the shirt. There's other colors, but the pants, the shoes, the shirt. You're like very much, and the Juicy Jimmy colorway of the 5-inch inseam shorts, the pod shorts.
And the Tropical Punch, which that's a drink check.
Oh, yeah, we're drinking Fruit Smash again. Obviously, now we are fucking slaves to Fruit Smash. It is so good.
Yeah,
there'll be a billion at the barbecue.
Are you still Pink Lemonade just still your fave? Or
No. Tropical Punch is my favorite for sure.
Cool. That is a complete...
What's your underwear? Boxers?
Hanes Boxers.
Nice.
It is 2-a-days season.
Really?
Two pairs of boxers.
You sweat that much? You might need some beaters in your life, dog.
When I'm like out and about, it is not the peak summer, which is that's when it's 2-a-days, 2-a-days underwear, 2-a-days cold showers, and some powder for the boys.
I mean, I love a cold shower in the summer, but yeah, I guess I just don't sweat enough. Well,
I'll shower in the morning, and then if I'm like out and about and I come back, then like even if I don't have any commitments for like dinner or anything,
any romantic engagements,
still gonna fucking shower just to feel clean and shit.
Also, I will say that obviously because you influenced me, like Jenna hates the beater look because now I'm just walking around the apartment on like my Ralph Cramden like to the moon shit, and which again is proof that it's and maybe I'm not like the properly shaped guy to be like flaunting the titties even in the male corset, but yeah, you really are to blame. She hates it, which again is how you know it's fucking good.
You walk, it's just fucking
literally like tucked into jeans or
like
trousers.
De Niro and Raging Bull,
basically, or Taxi Driver, right? Or really De Niro, whenever.
Yeah. All right. Well, the last time I saw you earlier today and before the Zooms was at this 316.
Oh yeah,
Throwing fits.
Great time.
The pants event.
The pants party.
The pants party. This
so
was
fun.
fucking. Yo, I didn't. First of all, I was incredibly hungover.
You went out big the night before?
Yeah.
You didn't plan for your engagement?
I might have even still have been a little tipsy when I like showed up, and I was kind of just
hurts.
like, you know what? Like I got to put in the time, 2 to 4, go home.
So
sleep.
you thought.
So you thought, and my expectations were low. I was like, whatever. Like kids come through, talk, whatever.
Well, it's kind of, and we were even curious about, like, it was funny because Jason called it an activation. Our friend, maybe you've heard of him, TJ, Them Jeans,
yes.
One of America's
two
two favorite 40-year-old podcasters.
I guess that's their thing is they use like marketing speak in their podcast.
Because like that's the thing. My expectations were also low because like it's a hang, it's a kickback, right? Like we said, so
little pop out.
Yeah.
But yo, it was fucking fire. And Dave Schilling was there.
Yeah, Dave came through
John
with his lady.
Monica.
Shout out John.
Aforementioned Them Jeans.
Mm-hmm.
All the corridor kings.
Yo,
the
kings from the cord rolled deep.
Oh, I was talking about corridor.
Oh,
the Drake's homies.
Yeah.
The Don Dada of Drake's. The Don Dadas of Drake's. And
shout
then
out Brandon.
The fucking shout out the Discord for everyone that came through.
They mobilized. It felt that's what it felt like, you know.
It was a
zoovie
activation. They were activated.
Yeah.
I don't know. Time. Like it was cool to actually hang out with people that like I don't know any of their real names.
Right.
I don't know the governments like Tid, Taylor Swift, JX, Land Ahoy,
Kevin Finnerty, aka Chris. We know Chris, obviously.
Yeah. I don't know their fucking governments, but it was actually like I don't know. It was very.
Do you expect?
I don't know what the feeling is. It was very like wholesome in a way.
It was. It was one of these times that it felt like again everyone's just looking for an excuse to hang out. Tid came through with a fucking bag of bagels.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like chomping on a Lucy,
plain,
like getting fucking
and everything bagel, but like plain, no cream
exactly.
cheese, no
lox. Which she had on deck too. But I was like, bro, I'm not gonna like dip this
manhandle
in
this
cheese.
fucking this
I
right here.
I already feel like a fucking idiot walking around with a hard seltzer in one hand and a fucking everything bagel Lucy in another. But I will say that it did feel like a thing where everyone was just like happy to be there, ourselves included. I will admit that yes, my expectations were low, and what I will give you credit for, which I don't think I've mentioned, was like you really, I felt like were holding court. You really like kind of stepped it up as like being like the de facto leader of the podcast for that thing. I don't know. I was waiting for my wife to show up. I was like, how many cigs can I smoke? My brother was coming through because we had dinner later, which I'll obviously get into in terms of like my pass out / blackout. And then we had another.
It was a pop out to a blackout.
Yeah. Pop up to blackout. That's a good title. And then we had unfortunately I had a commitment afterwards where I was going to go see a friend's art show. Shout out my friend Claire and her man's Matt. But I felt a little as much as
it was weird. I'm gonna say it was a little weird that you were kind of like hanging back in the cut. I was like, are you like nervous to meet like your actual actual best friends?
I might have been out of practice. It's also maybe because like normally when it's an event, I'm gonna be like supremely fucked up on drugs as well because I know I'm not gonna have any kind of feds in my vicinity.
What you mean, your wife?
Yeah, exactly. The warden of
narc wife.
The warden of Club Fed. Shout out JB, love you to death. Even though you'll never listen to this. So I was overcompensating, I think, by like smashing drinks. And I've mentioned this to you before, where even going back to when I was vice president of my fraternity in college, I always like having a task at a gathering. I want to meet people and I want to have interactions. Of course, I want to be gracious. I want to be a man of the people. But I like having something to do. Otherwise, my ADHD really takes over, and I get like kind of anxious. Not to the point where I'm gonna have like a panic attack, but I was like, "Yo, Jimmy is really stepping up. You were fucking chopping it up crazy with everyone," which kind of made my life and job, quote unquote, a lot easier. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think it's look, unless it's at the Nepenthes Friends and Family sample sale.
Yeah.
Which
nice job.
You see me there? Don't talk to me. I'm putting in work.
Mm-hmm. Well established.
I think that what you and I, as the people's champions, and we'll get to this about how we're inclusive, not exclusive.
Of course not.
We're not carving out a fucking existence by defining what we are not.
If we see a gate, we don't keep it, we tear it down.
Oh, we fucking tear down this gate. So yeah, it was cool just to like have actual normal conversations, even if those conversations started with like, "Yo, what are these pants?
Right,
oh,
sure,
what's the shirt?" And then it's just like,
yo,
you get into normal shit.
Did you see any? So I would say like I don't know. 15 people were actually like picking up their pants. That's the other thing too. I felt bad for the people that kind of were misled and came through because they don't listen to the podcast because we talked about this and we're like trying to buy pants. But I looked at some of those finals because you and I only have samples.
Right.
The finals,
they're crispier.
They're so much better. And the homie at 316, not Andrew, but one of the dudes that works for him, I forget his name, so my apologies. But he was like, yeah, it's weird because he got that too, but it's the exact same fabric, but the two-tone is not like so pronounced that it looks like we're like ripping off EG or even ripping off 316, but it is like, honestly, bro, if you bought these pants, you got an amazing final product. Better than the sample for sure.
The oatmeal.
What was advertised.
The oatmeal is oatmealier on the final than it is on the samples.
The porridge is just right.
Where we were like, yo, Andrew, can we get some? He's like, nah, like I fucking that's a pre-order, dog.
Exactly. We were the fucking bozos trying to cop after the fact.
First of all, shout out Andrew for hosting and for copping the Kirkland signature hard seltzers. copping the seltzies at the t-shirt store,
which were fine. And then shout out all the homies. Well, Chris went and got seltzers, and we ended up paying, aka Kevin Ferner. We ended up Venmo him back, and then Gian went and got Topo Chico hard seltzers, which I never had, which are really fucking. I mean, obviously, it's Sloppo Topo. You expect.
By the time the
greatness.
Sloppo Topo came about, I was a bit fucking.
You got pretty faded.
Smizash, not crazy.
I saw some pics of you climbing a tree after I had left.
Yeah.
The fuck?
So I think it was
Jim
more,
of the Jungle, dude.
I know. The people needed a show. Are you not entertained?
Dance for me, monkey. Climb.
It was more like the adrenaline of like actually like the fact that it was going so well. I was not fucking Super Smash Bros until later on.
Sure.
But which we'll get into in a little bit. But like. Yeah, the fact that it was just going so well, the fact that we were like actually hanging out and vibing with all the aforementioned chord kings and queens and like IRL homies that came through. We forgot to mention Gian. Gian was obviously there, and Janice.
Shout out Janice and Gian.
Who are phenomenal folks. And yeah, so I don't know what happened. I don't know exactly when you left. Andrew at one point just fucking got in his big body Benz and skirted out of there.
Really?
And he's like, yo, keep going.
Don't burn the store down later.
He was like, keep going, but like maybe, and then like eventually the 316 guys were like, hey, we actually have work to do. So it kind of spilled out onto the street.
Yeah.
But we were just like, we were just chilling on the street. I did climb a tree. I don't know what the impetus was for that. Sometimes I just see something and I just need to climb it.
Oh, Greg, because you're such a. Did you fuck your hand up?
No, but I couldn't maintain it long enough to like I couldn't go any higher.
Okay.
And then all these fucking fuck the Chord Kings. They're like, oh Jimmy, I thought you could climb. It's like, bro, this is a fucking young ass tree.
Yeah,
dude. It's on a mountain.
Yeah. Also, climbing is a young man's game, and we are nearly 35.
And whatever, somebody got a flick off. I think Janice got a flick off.
I saw something on social.
So then I was like, they were like, do you want to go hang out more? And I'm like, sure. I don't have any more plans for the day. And I'm hungry. That fucking everything bagel, I only ate like a few bites of it.
Yeah.
Went to some bar down the street, ran into an old acquaintance.
While you were gooned up?
Gooned up.
Because I would say make a great impression.
I
know what you're talking about.
Ran into an old acquaintance who lifetime crush, whatever. Probably made a great, who's a very beautiful person inside and out. Probably made a great impression on the Chord Kings, but probably didn't make the best impression on her.
Sure.
Where it's like stumbling in with like 8 guys and like Janice and Janice's homie behind us, and then it's just like
Your game wasn't at its best. I mean, we're gonna review your game a bunch, but you weren't on your P's and Q's.
And I was not at the point where I was like just blindly fucking spitting or like simping. I was just like, hey, what's up? Oh my god, like
you probably hadn't seen her. I mean, when's the last time we would have seen her?
Literally
years. Almost 10
So it's like,
years ago.
these are Muchis, and she's like, oh my god, yes, what's up? How you been? And I think she was a little. I hope she doesn't hear this, and I don't think she will. But
she never will.
I think she was a little embarrassed that it's like, oh, I'm like a hostess at this.
Oh, right, totally.
Kind of
as far as like
bar.
what we remember her as and where she was maybe in her
there's
career.
no shame or
no, of course
in that.
not. It's a noble profession.
But it was just like she's working, we're having a good time, so it's kind of like opposite vibes, whatever.
Sure.
So we sit in the back, go to another bar. At a certain point, I was like, okay, I'm too fucked up for this. I'm going to just get the fuck out of here. Irish goodbye. Unfortunately, I did not.
Well, for you, it's a half Irish goodbye.
Yes. I did not have the corporate card, so I think Gian paid for all these.
Stop. Come on, bro. Really? I should have left it with you.
Yeah.
That is the new development here is that like normally like Jimmy is daddy. It's his car that's going down.
Yeah.
You're doing logistics, whatever. Lately, and this is what are we talking about? Me and you taking somebody out for drinks or getting dinner ourselves or like, extending a night. I've been Daddy Warbucks.
Well, you have the physical card.
Just because I have the card.
I got it back though. So.
Oh, where was it?
No, like I got a new one.
You never found the OG.
The old one is like somewhere buried in all my shit back there.
Well, it'll show up eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but
but
shred
whatever.
that shit.
Got the new one.
So Gene bought probably on Nordstrom.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, I'll hit him up. I totally.
We
gotta
pay him back, dog.
And then the last thing is that like I guess my new shit and because we were talking about this with our guest, who I guess we can reveal his name. We're behind the paywall.
It's Isaac. It's
Isaac Miller,
the big homie, DJ
guy.
extraordinaire,
and he was the mutual that I had with this hostess league.
Yeah,
whatever.
That's neither here nor there. That's water under the bridge.
Jumped on a fucking Citi bike.
Ooh, dangerous.
Brown out at this point, and that's why I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here. Like, I can't.
Right, you've sensed yourself truly approaching the precipice, the point of no return. You're like, I have to.
About Zombie James?
No, I don't think so. Explain. Go on.
So when I get to a certain point of fucked upness, of just alcohol, I stop talking.
Yeah, I mean,
and the lights go out. Right, but I'm like still chilling.
Oh, maybe
right?
we have to talk about this because I've seen you. Well, I've seen you in zombie mode a few times. Jonah Hill days, it's going to happen, obviously. Yeah. And at the afters.
Do you know why it's called Zombie James?
Do you fall asleep standing up?
No. So on a random
start doing like fucking
sophomore year, maybe freshman year of college, freshman or sophomore year of college. And sorry, this is like I used to party.
This whole, I mean, if people are already levying that criticism against us, we're going to lean into the skit.
I know. Also, there's better stories coming with Florence.
Are there? Don't overpromise and underdeliver.
So I accidentally got really fucked up on like a random Tuesday, right? My friend who lived on the same hallway as me, still a good friend. He's like wraps up his studying. He goes to the bathroom to brush his teeth. I'm in there and I'm like a fucking Sims character where I can't I can't find my way out of the bathroom. I'm just like bumping into walls. He's like, James, what do you do tonight? And I reach over to like a flyer that's taped on the door that's advertising some like reading or panel. I just rip it down.
Some feminist reading.
Just take a giant bite and just go, it's zombie night, motherfucker.
Take a bite out of crime, dude. Oh my Lord.
And so now when the lights are out and I look like a goddamn shark, Zombie James.
Got it.
And I felt Zombie James approaching.
Black eyes like a shark's eyes.
Felt every week is Zombie James Shark Week. I felt Zombie James approaching. I was like, I get the fuck out of here. So I hopped on a Citi bike, was swerving my way. It was an e-bike, which I love, even though they're a little pricier. Ran out of juice halfway up the fucking bridge. But I think
bridge? You would have taken the Williamsburg Bridge.
Bridge. I think that was good because it forced me to like actually like, exert myself and like sweat out a little bit of the booze.
Get back into it.
And so by the time I got home,
back into reality.
By the time I got home, I was like coherent enough to like order dinner, eat it.
You went from undead to alive again.
I was able to eat some brains. And then fell asleep on my couch from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Nice.
And then made my way to the bedroom.
Bachelor life.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say that I am.
How jealous of you are you of
well, I definitely
how fucking terrible my life is.
I was at the time I was kind of upset that I had to leave the event early. But obviously I had all these prior engagements. Not that like I'm so cool, but it was just like a lot of things kind of scheduled at the same time. But I will say that hearing you being browned out on a Citi bike is like my greatest fear because Jenna always wants to like take Citi bikes and like do like a couples thing because I think it is a great, well, one, it's an easy way to get around the city. It's obviously fun, great couples activity. And the last time we did it, which was the last time, it is fast, is that I got too high and I literally crashed. Honestly,
you got hit by
I crashed into a parked car.
Bro! It's like a fucking your mama's so stupid she got hit by a parked car.
So basically, we were cruising, and I was high, and everything was going fine. And I was so in the moment. I was such living life and just fucking vibing that I didn't fucking, take a turn when I should have. So I basically T-boned a car, and I smashed into a parked car. And luckily, I was fine. I'm ashamed to admit, but again,
so now you have that trauma.
Yes,
lives on, in that you have to.
And I know
everywhere.
that the new rep is that we are the most diabolical podcast in the 7 realms. But Jen was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I recovered. And ultimately, we kind of just like kept it pushing. And I didn't fuck up the car badly.
I fucked up the bike.
I fucked up myself. No, and the bike was still good. I fucked up myself more than anything, and I was definitely feeling that. But that was a moment where.
How high were you?
And we're going to talk a lot about being too high, but like in the moment, whenever I'm too high, the moment right before something bad happens, if you would ask me, I'd be like, I feel great. And
famous last words.
And I guess I don't have the internal governor that you have, that kind of can tell you like, holy shit.
I mean, this was a rare,
the restrictor plate,
this
if
is
you will.
a rare semblance of like responsibility and self-restraint.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I was just like, I need to get the fuck out of Soho. Like, I can't be in Soho, Nolito. Like, I
really
don't like that was part of it. I was just like, what is this like loud ass bar with people that I don't know. I just don't really like going out there.
The Vibras were
the vibes were off. The
were
vibes
demonic.
Were off.
Okay, touche.
And you had a story.
Yes,
or you had an experience where you also got too high, but it was not crashing.
No.
A Citi Biking into a car, although it very well may have happened again.
It's crashing and burning another way. So anyway, like I said, I might have been a little more anxious than normal at the event, so I had a lot of hard seltzer. Then my wife and my brother came to the event, hung out for a little bit, said hi to the Muchies.
Brother was wearing the loafers.
My brother was wearing the loafer.
Fantastic.
Yo, honestly, man, talk about a dude who fucking supports the homies. Got the loafers, has the pants. I had to do the thing that we've been doing where I texted him being like, yo, I got to wear the pants because I'm on the clock. And we're doing a party for the pants. Don't wear the pants. He's like, don't worry, I was just gonna wear the loafers. So,
I picked up a pair of pants for my brother, and I almost forgot them at the restaurant.
Oh shit!
And while biking over the bridge, I just remember there's like a big there's like a big 316 bag in the fucking basket of the Citi Bike, and that was kind of like my North Star. I was like, don't drop the bag.
Do you guys have the same waist?
Don't drop the bag.
You could easily like
he's smaller.
Oh, okay.
He's much more handsome.
As is my younger brother. This is your older brother though.
Younger brother.
Oh, he's younger?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. All right, my bad. Shows what I know. Anyway, so I had a bunch of drinks. Then we went to our friend's little art thing, which was cool. Had a cocktail there. And then the three of us just went to a bar to catch up before my brother and I had this dinner reservation, which he made for us. And I definitely drank too much. I had, I think, 4 espresso martinis.
What?
We had a lot of time to kill before this reservation, which
How much time?
Probably an hour and a half.
4 drinks in an hour and a half is...
An espresso martini at the Ren, very small. And honestly, as I was drinking them, I'm like, yo, this isn't bad. And I will say that when my brother and I left to go to our reservation at a very ridiculous place, which I'll get to in a second, I truly felt fine.
Okay.
And the entire conversation that was had once we left my wife going to dinner was like, all right, I'm going to text. We got to get out at this point because I want to text James. I want to text JVL. Maybe we'll go to La Noche, whatever.
Right.
Like, there was all these plans. And if anything, I think that in retrospect, I was probably being rude because I should have been focused on this great dinner that my brother had set up, which was like a belated birthday present. So he had gone with some friends to a place that you were familiar with that I wasn't, called Stoned Pizza, which is like a speakeasy, 100% weed
THC, not
themed,
CBD.
THC weed themed restaurant. And you were familiar with the guy.
Well, the guy is a fucking known scammer where like... This is obviously operating in like a gray legal area. Now, now he's like legalized, I'm sure, but like maybe.
I will say the vibes at the place were very much like name on the list. Like, not that you couldn't take pictures inside, but it felt very much like they're setting you up for illicit activity.
He's one of these guys that
Maybe
like he's had like spectacular like crash and burn ventures before.
All weed based, I would imagine.
I don't know. He finally found something. Finally found something that has stuck, but will like. Has like 800,000 Instagram followers, and will just like document everything. He's like, yo, I'm flying 80 weed pizzas down to Miami in my PJ to go meet up with like T-Pain or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, sure, exactly.
There's
a profile on him in New York Mag or something.
Yeah, Grub Street, yeah.
So either way, so he had gone, he had a great time, and his whole thing was like, yo, and it's very expensive. I think it's like $125 per person to make a reservation
with the stoner omakase.
Right, for a prefix menu where, there's a bunch, it's like garlic knots, wings, pizza, dessert, and drinks, and everything is either like, if it's a drink, it's THC tincture, and then if it's food, it's cooked in the oils, whatever.
Can you get weed food?
Everything there is weed food.
Even the drinks?
And you cannot get, even the water has weed.
Way.
I swear to God, that's the whole fucking thing, right? You can't even, there's no booze. They don't even have a liquor license. Anyway, so we go to this place. He had made the reservation. His whole thing was like, yo, you love weed. You love being
high.
high.
Be careful, like it's a lot or no?
No, his only piece of advice was, having been there before, he's like, we're gonna be fine. Well, he's like, okay, like plans afterwards, we're gonna be good. Little did he know. And he was like, yo, just be aware that like the cocktails, the raspberry lemonade, that is going to be strong, whereas the water that also, again, is THC infused is what they recommend if you're just trying to vibe. Drink that.
How can you not just offer plain non-weed water?
I don't know, dude.
Water at the weed store.
So he's like, we're going to enjoy this. It'll be fun, obviously. Right, so we sit down, and, we start with one of these fucking lemonades, and the garlic knots comes out. And we had wings and garlic knots, right, to start. We're not choosing. It's, again, prefix. Yeah. And they're delicious. I was so blown away about how good the food was. As a basic ass fucking chuggy bitch, I took a picture, was sending to Jen. I was like, yo, we're fucking living life. We're balling. This is great. So we have a cocktail, one, and it was good. And I felt fine. And maybe, if anything, I'm feeling a little bit of a body high. We go into you can buy blunts, right? It's
to smoke?
Yeah. So
in the restaurant?
So even when
are you smoking in the restaurant?
So there's like a humidor room, right? Okay. Where even if you want to smoke cigs, they won't let you leave even, right? So we're like, oh, can we go outside to smoke a cig?
It's like a fucking
right, a little weird.
It's like Guantanamo Bay.
Yo, it's very locked
Guantanamo
down.
Backwood.
There's no branding outside, right? I wonder if either, again, like I said, that's
where's
performative.
East Village?
Yes. And anyway, so they come by the table and they're like, yo, what do you want to drink? First course come out. Do you want to buy a blunt? And there's a guy, his whole job, because we're watching him from the humidor while we smoke cigs, the smoking room, is he just rolls huge gorilla dicks for tables that want to pay.
Yo, it's like when you go to a fucking cigar cigar store, and
exactly.
they got Cubans in the back, just like.
And the place is packed, right? There's a reservation at 6:30, and the whole thing is the meal lasts till 9. Then they have the second sitting that happens. So the whole crowd, it's a lot of Instagram thotty girls with their their date. A bunch of guys trying to impress whoever so they can fuck and so we're sitting down and we come back from the humidor smoking. We get a second drink, and I have that second drink, and I'm starting to feel it, and I go, we're having a conversation. I'm like, yo, give me a second. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm feeling pretty high. I want to go pee. So I go to the bathroom, and I'm in the bathroom, and I'm
more high than normal.
No. I'm telling you, I felt pretty good. I just felt it in my legs, and it was like a body high developing. If anything, I was so excited to continue to eat what amounted to delicious food. So we go into the I go into the bathroom. Okay. It's a single bathroom, and I'm standing at the urinal and I'm peeing.
Is there a guy a bathroom attendant
No.
Blunt, sir?
No.
Blunt?
But it's funny because my brother, who had been there before, I just was casual. I was like, oh, where's the bathroom? He's like, well, there's a single one here, like a handicap stall, or you can go to the men's room. I was like, oh, I'll just go to the one. So I was by myself, locked the door. I'm in there. I'm peeing, and then I don't know what happens because I literally blacked out. My legs give out, and I wake up. I come to on the floor. Now I will say that. The rest of the story has witnesses. This is the only moment that I can't really account for. And I say this because my jaw, right, legitimately hurts. And I wonder if you can, hear.
There's a bruise on your neck?
Yeah, that's right. So what I think happens is I think my legs gave out, and I came down and smacked on the urinal.
Oh, my God.
As
you ate some piss?
As my own piss. As if... I almost feel like what it would be like to be an unruly fan trying to dap up America's second favorite 40-year-old podcaster, Chris Black, and getting some sweet chin music, as he apparently said on his podcast. Sure. Because my jaw is swollen. It still hurts. I have this bruise on my neck. I literally think I came down and smacked myself on the urinal. Oh, I don't know. God. So anyway, I wake up on the ground.
You ate piss?
And at this point, I'm not even
Is the bathroom really grimy?
No, it's it's a pretty. Reservations are $125.
I know,
Blunts
but
are
$250. Is there piss and paper towels on the floor and shit?
But I come to on the ground on my back like fucking Yertle the turtle, and I'm immediately like, oh damn. My first thought is, and the night is ruined. I'm like, this. How am I going to recover?
It's like Kafka Metamorphosis.
I'm a bug now. I'm literally the roach in the bed. So anyway, that sucks. And at this point, I'm lucid, but it's almost like somebody truly flipped the switch, and now I am out of my fucking element, bro. I am
in terms of
way too high, and I'm just completely fucking.
You know what? Getting fucking duffed in the getting duffed in the dome piece by a urinal will do that to you.
Yeah. So I opened it, and so I had this moment where I'm like, I don't even know what I'm gonna say. My first thought is, yo, recover. You can recover. Tell your brother this hilarious story, but get back on the horse, finish the meal. In my own mind, I still want to
rub some dirt on it.
I want to keep going, right? Because there's so much to do. There's so much to see.
Carl Knotts are be
this
busting.
is literally It is literally 7:15. Not even, maybe 7, right? So I open the door and I literally just walk right around the corner to where our table was, and my legs give out, and I immediately catch myself on my brother's chair, but I slip and like fall down. So he's like, "What the fuck is going on?" Here is where things get bad. I get back up, and I black out again. So I don't know.
Number 3?
No, it's really 2. It's like 2.5.
Okay.
So, and this is all what he told me. So I get back up, and I try to like, dust it off. Even though, by the way, he's like, the whole restaurant is already gasping,
like screaming, like think of how high they are, and they're like, "Oh my god, someone's dying."
Exactly. So I get up and I go to stabilize myself by putting like my palms down on the table. And I fucking flipped the table onto myself.
You Dudley broke it?
With all of the garlic knots and marinara sauce and wings and wing sauce all over myself, and the fucking pod pants, which, by the way, are fucking cooked. I don't know if they could be resuscitated and brought back from the brink.
How bad are they?
So stain remover is on them, but we're not done.
Include a pic of it in the Zood board, and then also
I know, they're crumpled up in my hamper. It's bad. But anyway,
got to do it.
So this is not even the end of it.
NFT them 1 of 1.
So,
these are Larry game worns.
They are truly game worn.
So you're drenched in weed
So
sauce.
my brother is now. He told me that he's like, "Yo, you had this dead look in your eye, and you were kind of stiff as you fell." Because I guess my obviously I had no fucking
zombie Larry.
I had no leverage. He was like, "Yo, I thought you were having a seizure." So he tells me,
how high was he at this point?
I think he was kind of just cruising.
So he wasn't like trying to like shove a spoon in.
No. So at this point, the staff runs over, and I guess they're in arbitrage mode where this is bad for business.
Yeah.
My brother said that some people, after gasping now a second time, are like, "Yo, should we leave? Is something wrong with the food?" Like, it was like, because they're like, this man died.
Yeah.
So he told me that it was just like in a movie where a drunk guy is being like carried out of a bar, or someone had just gone duffed out by Christopher Black for trying to say hello. He was like, your feet were like completely like being
you're ragdolled.
So I come to as I'm almost 3/4 of the way being ragdolled out of the restaurant. The whole staff immediately is doting on me, right? As opposed to like being like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Whatever. They give me lemons, which I guess is a thing that brings you back from the brink. So I'm sucking on lemons outside. I look like
Is there weed in the lemons?
No, I don't know. It honestly looks like I like threw up on myself. The amount of fucking shrapnel and sauce.
What was the top?
Was my Western shirt, which already looks like shit, but that had like sauce stains all over it. The Wrangler. So my brother comes out and he's completely flabbergasted, because at this point now he's like, "Okay, this is one of the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened.
I just wanted to get you a nice weed dinner for your birthday.
I just tried to do something nice, and you fucking made it all about yourself, and you fucking ruined it." And the staff is being chill, and the guy says to me, he goes, "Yo, great fucking boots, man. That's fucking
the canyons."
And by the way, at this point with the lemons, I'm kind of like, I'm back. I'm in the game now.
Are you like normal Larry? You're like, "Hey, what's up?"
Well, I wouldn't go that. One guy goes, "Yo, anyone ever tell you look like Carson Wentz?" I'm like, "What the fuck? That's what you're gonna say to me right now?"
Well, how you gotta imagine how high is this?
And I immediately was like, "Yo, fuck Philly, bro. They did him dirty. Like that tells you everything you need to know about Philly. Whatever.
Fuck the birds."
And then another guy goes, "Yo," and I am so embarrassed. Right, I'm sitting in my own filth on like the curb, sucking on lemons. Asking my bro, I'm like, "I need a cig. Like, where's the lighter? Like, I need and it's like, they're like, "Yo, all of your belongings are like exploded out of you. They're all in the restaurant."
Yard sale.
And one of the guys goes, "Yo," he's like, "It could be worse. You could have been the lady that pissed herself last week." So I'm like, "Wait, so
what is going on at
died.
Stoner Pizza.
I just died. This lady pissed herself." I'm like, "Yo, maybe we should like get the FDA in here to like fucking regulate some of this shit.
Out of here.
What the fuck is going on?"
Do you have to pay?
Well, it's prepaid, prefix.
Okay.
So eventually, things kind of died down, and I'm like looking at myself. I'm like, "Yo, first of all, if I get like a little stain on myself, right?
Freak out?
Bro, my night is ruined.
Yeah.
I cannot even remotely step outside of myself to just continue to live my life.
You're more sauce than man at this point. You got lost in the sauce.
I got lost in the sauce completely. And the dude goes, "All right, like you guys want to go back in and have the pizza, the course pizza?" I'm like, "Nah, we are fucking out of here.
Get the Citi Bikes.
So at that point, we got to, and the best part is we're in the Uber going home, and I'm getting FaceTime from drunk James, because this is before we browned out and took the Citi Bike. And then I know you then hit Robbie. I got fucking R. Kelly fucking FaceTiming me to make me feel guilty, like what you did with Chef. You fucking manipulating these motherfuckers to FaceTime me. And I'm just telling you,
I never told Chef to FaceTime you.
Okay, right. It was more of Chef who was doing the emotional manipulation.
Right. We came to that conclusion.
Right. We were able to uncover that deep emotional info. But anyway, I told you, I was like, yo. And at that point, right, I'm even fine outside of the restaurant. I could have gone back in. I don't think I would have.
Well, once
because I looked like such dog shit.
Yeah.
But that was my night. And then I went back, and Jenna, and I told my brother, I was like, yo, come back. And not that he was going to necessarily stay the night. He was probably going to go home. But I was like, come back with me. Be my lawyer. Try to do your best to explain what happened. Because if I show up looking like this, yo, I'm getting ready to riot act, bro. Exactly. So Jenna then finds it. Of course, my brother, tells the story. She finds it fucking hilarious. I went in the shower with my clothes on, right? To try to fucking clean myself off.
I thought I was a mess. You are.
Yo, it was bad. So I don't know.
A literal mess.
So that's the story. I don't know if the pants, and what an amazing, fucking beautiful, delicious taste of irony, because that was the pants party celebrating the only fucking summer fatigues that matter. I don't know if they will survive.
Well, this is great for me because I no longer have to be like, yo, Lawrence.
Right, don't wear the pod pants.
I'm wearing the pod pants. Are you thinking of wearing the pod pants?
Yeah, I don't know. So
I don't have the list.
So to wrap it up, we got stain remover on that shit.
If only you were wearing the white fucking Fantasy Explosion New York hat as well, then that's
literally my wallet, my keys, my phone. They'd go back in. My brother scrounged around. He finds everything. Literally was like in Super Mario when he and all the coins when I get the Koopa hits me and
just a stiff Larry just getting like a fucking.
Bro.
Oh my God, I wish I'd seen that.
My brother said it was literally like being in a movie where the entire because it was a packed house and there's not a ton of
fucking like a TikToker.
He was
getting knocked out in boxing.
Oh my Lord!
Well, I don't
pearl
know if you're
clutching, the whole fucking vibe.
I don't know if you're in a black church, but
I mean, a different type of church to Mother Gaia, a higher power. But anyway, so that was my story, and it's funny. I feel like I've been listening to a lot of Yeezus and Hold My Liquor. Bonnie Bear, right in the beginning, is like, this man can't handle his weed, and it's like literally that's what happened, bro. I literally couldn't handle it.
Have you been smoking since?
No.
Are you shook on weed?
No, not at all. I mean, this is, me, I power through. I'm Turbo Larry, only way to fly, cruising altitude, But I will say that I had stopped smoking for maybe 2 weeks just because I was like, yo.
You're saving up. You're like, I don't want to have too high of a tolerance. Guess what? You didn't.
My weed budget with the oils is a lot of money. So I was like, yo, let me just chill for 2 weeks and really experience this amazing thing that my brother set up for me. And I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but goddamn, dude, it was these fucking lemonades, bro. Put me on my ass 3 times.
Well, I guess liquid
back to back, jacked.
Liquid enters your bloodstream faster than food.
And he told me, he was like, yo, these are the ones. He goes, we'll only have 2. And the 2 fucking murdered me. So that's my story.
Your brother's just a bigger man than you are.
Yeah.
I guess what this event kind of taught me, my takeaway is that, because this is a little amuse-bouche of hanging out with all the best friends. Not just on Patreon, but this is the Throwing Fits barbecue is going to be come one, come all.
Yeah, this is what we do, by the way. This is what Chef said. Chef's like, you guys should host.
Not only do we fucking put ass in the seats, not only do we put asses in your ears, but that didn't make sense.
Not only do we put asses on the floor.
Yeah, exactly. In it, fucking put asses in the urinal.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we got people to come out. So I guess what this taught me is that the Throwing Fits barbecue,
bro.
So my goal was to have the cops shut it down, which I hope that,
bro,
I hope I didn't fucking.
Be careful what you
this.
wish for, man.
Yo, I don't know. Yo, is the Throwing Fits
curse? The
now
curse.
upon
I don't know,
ourselves,
dude. Jesus Christ.
Because now I'm like, yo, if we're climbing trees, if we're fighting urinals and losing, if we're ruining clothes.
I got knocked out by a urinal, dude. I got that sweet porcelain music, dude.
That Toto KO,
bro. I can't play. And the best is that I'll never know.
We know.
I guess we know.
Did you smell like fucking like a urinal cake? Did you get
No, I'd already flushed. I think I already flushed my own
right,
piss. But
that,
I will say, and people might think I'm exaggerating. That's the only thing because everything that happened outside my brother saw. I don't know where else I would have smacked my fucking chin.
Sink.
No, I mean I don't wash my hands. Come on, bro. No, I don't. But I don't. No, because I didn't even make it to washing my hands because my shit gave out.
Fallen sideways.
I mean, maybe it's possible. Sure.
Well, okay.
But I will say there's another bruise you can't see is directly here, which makes me think I went onto that actually even kind of.
We're all going to get arrested. Is the takeaway.
We need bail money. The Patreon will be bail money.
Start saving up money for bails. Direct mutual aid.
Right.
Fucking
please.
Someone dropped the Venmo link for Brooklyn Mutual Aid. And yes, July 17th.
July 17th. It is absolutely happening.
It's gonna be a fucking zoovie. All the best friends are gonna come out. All the fucking haters are gonna come out. I hope the haters.
Can we just say that one dude literally depledged from Patreon and was literally like, "Bro, Eze is gonna be the cook. That guy's the worst guy of all time." It's like, wait, what? Well, okay. So sorry that we have a friend who's willing to step up and just fucking cook. Well, I guess we're paying for the food, but like that was hilarious to me.
I know.
Sorry that we have friends that are fire on the fucking sticks. Dog.
So yeah, hopefully
see ya.
Hopefully the barbecue is a smash success, which means that we'll be fucking in the tombs for 72 hours.
Be careful what you wish for, bro.
And you know what? If we're going down, we're bringing all our haters down with us. And I don't know. I think it's just going to be another phenomenal chapter in the Throwing Fits mythology and Throwing Fits lore.
That's what we do.
Which people are fucking obsessed with right now. The Throwing Fits cottage industry is thriving.
Fucking booming.
Everyone's worried about inflation. Don't worry. The Throwing Fits cottage industry is going to deflate your ass. We got you, Joe. We did it, Joe.
We are such men.
We did it, Joe.
We are such men of the people, not even just like with the actual unwashed masses who we're willing to like fucking roll and fucking play around in the mud with, but our peers apparently now our professional peers are using us for content. And listen, hey, nothing new there. Death, taxes, people fucking riding our coattails, riding the wave. I'm not necessarily mad at it.
I think it's like kind of comes in waves where it's just like there's just moments where people kind of understand that Throwing Fits is, we are Army. No, better yet, a Navy.
Yeah.
And yeah, it seems like 3's a trend, right?
Sure.
There's been 3 instances recently of other folks looking at Throwing Fits and pointing their finger and being like, we're going to talk about this as a cultural
content
phenom.
Yeah, right.
And
the culture that you're commenting on is what we've created. So you're welcome.
Not only am I sexy Jimmy, I'm chill Jimmy.
You're
right
chill?
Now. We're gonna get to Simpy Jimmy in a little bit, but chill Jimmy is unbothered. But this is a fucking bee in your bonnet.
I don't want
This is a fucking
This
is a little wasp in your Western Hydro research.
Good. This bothers me, but I also don't want to like. And I know we've kind of like you've really teed it up, or tossed the alley oop.
I've been going off on this all week, bro.
Well, the one thing is this: as funny as it is for TJ to show up to our activation because he has 2 hours to kill before he fucking walks around Dime Square,
like, this is not
trying to get recognized like he's Big Bird on fucking Sesame Street. And as funny as it is for him to get free smoke on site and then be a crybaby about it on his own podcast, I will say apparently what he said on the pod was true. I didn't witness it. Listen, if a friend of ours, and this is a message to the homies, the best friends behind the paywall.
Yes.
Listen, you can ultimately make us look bad by the way that you behave at something that we put our name on. So yes, it is hilarious and it is fucking listen, and you know what? Throw those fucking 40-year-old podcasters a bone. I'm happy that they have something to talk about, but like, I don't know, don't fucking make us look bad by being like, "Hey, what's up? Nice to meet you. Your podcast sucks." Even if it's hilarious. Don't do that.
You don't have to.
You got to be better.
You don't have to fight our fights because guess what? We're not even fucking fighting with these people. So
and this brings me to my second point. What are some things about us that we always say that are true even if we're talking about this now?
Handsome geniuses.
One is that we're handsome geniuses. 2 is we don't punch down. We only get punched up by urinals, right? we will never punch down. And
you did get uppercut by urinal.
And then I will say that I never feel like, and people almost want us to somehow apologize for being popular, right? Which you and I will never do, right? Like we said, we see a gate, we don't keep, we tear it down. And apparently, and I don't listen to fucking Corp Dunce because audio melatonin does nothing for me.
Yeah, maybe if I'm like,
shout out to the homies, but
yeah, maybe if I'm like, if it's like 12:30 and I'm like, why haven't I fallen asleep yet? I'll throw it on.
Right.
But even then, no.
And I'm only saying this because like the core jumped on this, and then a Mucci, someone we really respect, who I won't put on blast, was like, "Oh, did you hear Corporate Dunce?" Apparently, I guess there's this idea of like podcast core and a uniform that we've created that apparently is basic and not good enough for
Gentlemen's Quarterly
for 3 friends of ours who, as much as they will say, "Oh, well, now everyone's going to call us like elite snobs. It's like, okay, well, one, maybe you are, if this is what you're saying, and then two, it's like also maybe you're just being an asshole. So I will say that, like, sorry that we are popular and that people look to us for advice, for service, for ways that they can feel more confident and better about themselves while being entertained in the process. And like, I will never apologize for being popular again, and I will not let anyone ever make me feel bad about being successful.
And I think it's
and influential.
It's
and I mean us.
So
fuck off.
We've existed in worlds where like they only exist because it is like exclusionary, where it's like, yo, we define ourselves by what we are, by what those that we do not allow in are, and like what that difference between them and us.
Sure.
And I think that I think a Throwing Fits red line, throughout has always been like, yo, like, yeah, if you want to improve yourself, you want to like get on our fucking wave, great.
Yeah, we welcome. With open arms too.
If we're Kanye West out here democratizing good taste,
yeah, exactly.
That's what we want to do. And then if you want to evolve into some other form of Pokemon, great, do that. Continue fucking evolving.
Exactly.
And the
we're not putting guardrails on this. It's like if you want to exist in a certain way because you like see the show or fans or followers of the show, and you're like, I want to be like that. That's great. I will never make you feel bad about that.
And Chill Jimmy is gonna just set you up because 3 is a trend. Before we move on to Simpy Jimmy, but 3 is a trend. There was a third instance recently where it was another like kind of like shots fired. Right?
A little bit. And shout out Jacob Gallagher. That's the homie.
Not shots fired, but like something.
It was funny though to see him do the post Sneaker World article. And we wanted to talk about it last week, and we didn't get to it because we were too busy fucking riffing on whatever other bullshit I can't even remember. Yeah, the Bachelor. We're too busy riffing on your Bachelorette questionnaire.
I texted him. I was like, "Yo, thanks for actually shouting us out. Like,
right, getting the credit,
like, accrediting us for post Sneaker World and Loafers, whatever." Yeah. And then I read the whole article. I was like, wait a second.
He was like, the Loafers, which they promoted incessantly. It's like, come on, bro.
Ad nauseum.
Ad nauseum, right, because this is I was going to say the paper of record, but it's not the paper of record. That would be John Caramonica's New York Times.
This is Donald Trump's favorite newspaper.
Right, this is Rupert Murdoch's plaything. Anyway, it was fun. It was great to see Gallagher do the Gallagher thing where it's like showing love and tapping into our audience to fucking get quotes, to fucking get content, and to help him do his job. And I'm happy for that because I love the kid who was like, and he was in the chord, and I'm sorry that I can't remember your chord name, but he was like, maybe I shouldn't have said I'm a Throwing Fit stan on the record. Yeah, maybe not.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah. Well,
say loud, say proud.
Well, okay. Also, that it is Pride after all.
Yes. But it is Throwing Fits Pride Month.
But the fact that Gallagher couldn't let it rock.
Yo, why have we made a rainbow Throwing Fits logo?
Yeah. And
to celebrate Pride,
right, like every other corporation. The fact that like ExxonMobil, like Raytheon. The fact that Gallagher like had to like get a little shot in is hilarious. And my thing is this: we've now done the post Sneaker World article most recently. You're welcome, right? Before that, we did the Fit Pick article, which was literally only sourced with homies from Fit Check Friday.
Shout out to the guy Emery.
You're welcome. And then I believe the one before that, if I'm sure there's been multiple ones where either us or the Throwing Fits universe or our beautiful best friends were mentioned, was the 5-inch inseam of maybe last summer. So at this point, it's like, bro, just do the Throwing Fits profile. Just do the profile. What are we like? You can aggregate. What do you say? Like you have the cliff notes. Aggregate these together, and you have the article.
Smash like half your past year's articles, and you'll have the profile.
It is the 1-year anniversary of the only profile that matters. Via Daniel Penny, our homie.
The New Yorker. Shout out the New Yorker Union. Congrats on the win.
Yeah. If you want to read the article, Google
Shock Jocks and
Menswear. I was going to say Google the New Yorker, Google Oscar the Grouch.
Google Lord Schlossman Grouch.
Yeah. And you'll see what we're talking about because I guess some people are still new and green to the point where they didn't know that we had this amazing, beautiful piece of press on us. But we're due for another one. And I would love for it to be Gallagher because he's a great writer and he's a homie and he's going to get in just the right amount of shots like our boy Daniel Penny did a year ago. But yo, bro, stop beating around the bush, bro. You want to fucking suck our dick and give us a profile? Let's go, baby.
See, Chill Jimmy's unbothered because Chill Jimmy understands that
I'm in Beater Larry mode. I'm brawling.
You're fucking angry.
I'm roided out. I'm angry.
You're a raging bull.
I am a raging bull.
You just get knocked out by a porcelain, static, inanimate urinal.
Damn, dude.
You versus Toto.
Hated had to be me. But anyway, that is the section where I was airing my grievances. Thank you very much for listening.
Chill Jimmy unbothered because if they're not talking about you even if by name or not, like
all press is good press.
Exactly.
And you know what? We are such fucking benevolent overlords. We are such gracious, humble geniuses, beautiful men inside and out that I am so happy to give content to all y'all. You're fucking welcome. Motherfuckers normally pay for this kind of fucking content.
Exactly.
And you guys are out here fucking milking it for free. You're welcome.
Here's why I'm not bothered.
Because
we continue to fucking, what is it, innovate? What is it?
Ideate. Innovate. Futurism.
We continue to drop fucking Blastix. That's Blastix with a B and ends with a K because we are birdified.
Surely.
And
yes, Sirski.
Every so often, and my goal is to have a Blastic episode once a month, and I think that we've consistently done that, and I think that we just dropped a Blastic episode where the fallout of the episode has usually like the chatter kind of dies down by like day 2, even though like the long tail is still happening. Yeah. But it's not like the main topic. It's not the fucking main character of the discourse. This Annie Hamilton, When Jimmy Met Annie podcast, where
beautiful
she and
episode.
our first date was
the pod for all intents and purposes. Yeah,
has so many like A plot, B plot, C plot, D plot, E plot, F plot. Well, no F plot.
Yeah.
But
no fuck plot.
No fuck plot. No D plot. No V plot. No P in the V plot. I don't know. This is just such a fucking.
There's a couple of narratives that we should address.
All right, let's get into it.
Yeah.
First one. Am I a simp? Is Simpy Jimmy real?
I will say this, and you know me, man. Like, obviously, we're homies, but like, I'm never gonna lie to you. I did not get that vibe at all. And the fact that people are like, "Ooh, Jimmy simping again,"
Jimmy Simpy,
even in the afters, like, I didn't get vibes. The one criticism was when she was fucking breathing down your neck with that fucking sexual energy. The fact that you clearly, in a naive way, like missed it happening in person because maybe you were like too close to the fucking energy. That was the one thing.
My thing is just like, what are we gonna do? First of all, I didn't read it. I can confidently say that I didn't get that. And what are we gonna do? Just start fucking like, even if I did catch that and it was true, like just start making out? No,
right. Which would have been incredible, by the way.
And she was pretending to be a babysitter to a child.
No, it was an aunt. She was like, you know that weird aunt that like is trying to, in so many words, like trying to hook up with you at the family Thanksgiving.
Okay,
no.
I didn't get that.
That was even lost on me. But I will say that the idea that you are somehow a simp or you were leaning into the Simpy Jimmy, I can confidently say that's not how it read at all in person to me whatsoever.
There were like,
so y'all some hating ass motherfuckers.
Seeing like the comments and the chord and some like Simpy Jimmy shit, I was like, wait a second. Was I? And made me doubt myself. And I never listened to the pods. I never go back and listen.
I haven't listened.
I didn't listen to it, but I almost listened to it. It was like, what are you talking? Or like asked them like, where was I simping?
And it was such a good pod that I don't even like want to go back. And maybe this is why like you and something is falling on deaf ears here. No pun intended. Is because like I didn't want to go listen back because I have such amazing memories of it, and the response, whether or not you were simping, which again I don't think you were, was so positive. But I will say that. Do you think? And here's my question for you. Do you think that because you so confidently portray this part of yourself, which we all know is out here fucking, that people maybe were like let down by the lack of game that was spit on the pod because you're being a professional?
All right, and
which maybe is
even
it. Like you set the bar too high for yourself.
Even talking about this right now, it got to me where I'm like, yo, I'm a little uncomfortable with like how much we are making me dating this woman like a thing, or not dating, like going on or doing a date with this woman a thing. Because like,
date.
Yeah, because it's like, yo, she's not here to like give her side of the story. She's not here like participating. And I wasn't gonna fucking like actually try to hook up with her on the podcast.
Of course not.
The whole concept of this being like a combo pod and date was like a very funny thing. And I think we kind of like,
it's a great narrative.
Yeah, and I think we kind of like nailed it.
Great showman.
Yeah, we kind of nailed it without like actually veering into like true date territory. I think she and I talked about this.
Yeah.
Like, we were like, yo, let's just like pretend that let's just make the pod like our first date, quote unquote.
The only way this would have been like fully on novelty on a nuclear level was that if you guys had gone on a date the night before, and it did go so well that it was, like you were saying, some John and Yoko shit in the crib, that would have been like Howard Stern level fuckery. Like, these guys are truly on untouchable level of fucking performative insanity, and it was never going to be that. So I don't know what maybe people were or weren't expecting.
Like I'm glad that the whole Annie Hamilton week is over
because
I was
Simpy Jimmy's very happy.
No, I was just like, this is not. She's not like giving her. She's not participating in like even this. Right.
Sure.
A surprise narrative that came out of it was that a lot of people commented in the IG response call and response was
like the pod recap stuff on Instagram. Yeah.
Was Lawrence was wingmanning like a motherfucking legend,
like Iceman, the goat, like a goat wingman. Yeah.
Which I was like, again, maybe I'm just not used to. Well, I've never like gone out with you to like
or the goose to your Iceman or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah. I've never like had you wingman for me that I can say confidently, except for maybe that one time
Balthy?
What?
Well, when we were at Balthazar with Chuck, when he had his first ever seafood tower.
That was just you guys getting out the way and making sure that I wasn't going to like fucking
clear out the paint. This man's going to
black out and spill a seafood towel.
You're going
myself.
ISO. He's going ISO mode.
Exactly. Get out.
That's not normally how. Because I'm not normally in that position at all.
So the Lawrence wingmanning thing was actually very surprising. And
Same.
And I wanted to look back and be like, wait, damn, was he? No. But again, I'm like, this wasn't a real date, people. Like, this wasn't a fucking this is like a podcast.
Or again, it's an expectation thing where like people were expecting me to like try to fuck it up for you. So the fact that I was like playing along, which again is like, damn, what do people think about me? What do they think about you? What do they think about our friendship? But ultimately,
the podcast is diabolical. We are not individually diabolical separately or to one another.
Right, exactly. It's only when we Voltron together that we will fuck your shit up expeditiously without a fucking doubt. But anyway,
we're fighting off producers trying to invoice us for broken mixing boards. We're trying to fucking fight off. Yo, I'm gonna go to that weed place and I'm gonna fucking curb stomp that urinal.
Yeah, right, for real. Taking a sledgehammer to that motherfucker. For Larry, I will avenge you. Well, let me say one thing. Yeah. I do think that for the most part, we haven't had opportunities each other to like be in that position together. And I think that the chemistry was really firing on 10, and whether or not you were simping and whether or not I am the fucking GOAT wingman, I think it just proved that again, podding in person, we are back to what we fucking do without a fucking doubt, unimpeachably, the only podcast that matters. And I think that the response, whether it was exactly what we expected it to be specifically, was like extremely positive because the shit fucking slapped.
And you're welcome. And also Annie's an amazing
and this is all, by the way, this is all credit to her being the most charming person of all time.
Gregarious,
unhinged, never boring,
like being a skilled fucking entertainer.
Yes,
right.
Turned it on. She was so great.
The one thing though,
pod of the year thus far.
The one thing though that we had took a little umbrage with, was when she very flat out was just like no shorts. A man should never wear shorts.
That was
especially not on a date.
And I think it was such a kind of we were so taken aback in the moment, and then she immediately kind of went into like critiquing our fits, or these things kind of happened back to back. But I will say that is a tough one to hear because if you go on a date, maybe it's a day date, right? Maybe it's a happy hour thing. If it's fucking hot, what are you supposed to do as a guy?
I mean, it depends. Okay, it depends on who. It depends on who. I don't think you can make that blanket rule where it depends on who you are. It depends on.
Well, that was her blanket rule, I guess, right?
Yes, it depends. I think it's all circumstantial, all contextual. Like, what if you are going to the beach? What if you're doing some sort of like activity, like fucking? Well, I guess not mini golf, but like, what if you're going to
rock climbing,
batting cages?
Well, I guess you're not supposed to wear shorts when you rock climb, right?
That's unless it's really hot, then you wear high socks like Blondie. But yeah, what if you have like cool leg tattoos or not?
Or very cool thigh tattoos.
Yo, apparently the thigh tat is a very sexy thing according to the Discord, according to the fashion
according
podcast
to the homies according to the bros.
But there was a dude that was like, yo, I'm going on a date. It's 90+ degrees.
Literally like the night the pod came out or whatever.
I'm second guessing myself over here. Like, what do I do? And it's like, bro, do whatever you're gonna be most comfortable existing in.
Yeah.
If that's pants and that's fine, do pants. I run very hot. I can only wear like 3 pairs of pants, but also like if I'm having a bottle of wine on like a blanket in the park and that's the date, I need to be in shorts.
Vibes. Yeah, exactly.
So
that was a tough one. That was a tough one to hear.
That was a tough cookie.
That I even when we were talking about this ep and what we wanted to talk about, I was like, shit, dude, do we need to like fucking push back harder when we get some fucking dubious intel on the pod? Because clearly there's 18 million impressionable young men and one woman that is hearing this and then maybe second guessing, like you said themselves, which we never want.
Or do we allow
there's other pods that will do that for you?
Or do we allow the guests to speak their piece and then on a paywalled episode 2 days later, bash the fuck out of them.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, and the last point about this Annie Hamilton episode, which is this is incredible.
Yeah.
This is absurd.
This
she
is the
dropped her
best.
Venmo. Were we just like talking about being a starving artist or something? I mean,
Yeah, we were just like, whatever, Venmo this
she
chick.
dropped her Venmo. She's like, if you want to send her $1, it's like Annie Ham to or whatever.
Right.
She made several $100s.
Yeah.
Mostly from two contributors. One of them sent her fucking $300.
Speaking of simps.
Another dude sent her $100. I don't know. She just like texted me that. I didn't see like the messages.
Sure.
I don't know if it was like, yo, feet pics or like
Well,
whatever.
you know that the guy who sent $300 is like the whole. I'm going to and you can and listen. If I'm Annie, I'm accepting that money. But you know that as soon as you expect, well, I guess when you on Venmo, when you send the money, it leaves your account, right? Until the person declines or whatever. Yeah. That dude, as soon as he hit sent, he immediately went and beat off. I mean, that's what's happening. He is clearly a pay pig, right? Exactly.
And he might be a fan of
which
hers.
is fine, which is great.
He might be a fan of hers from before.
Sure.
Right? He might not be throw gang. He might be both. You know, that's called intersectionality.
Yeah.
That's called
Happy Pride.
That's called convergence culture.
That's
but,
true.
Yo, the fact that she made at least $400.
So there's a 300, a 100, and then a bunch of ones and maybe a 10 or something thrown.
And I could have been like, yo, I guess this means you're paying for the first date. But maybe I was in my head a little bit from the Simpy Jimmy shit where I'm just like, I'm just like, holy shit, that's crazy.
That was when you told me. So when I had talked to her like the day that it came out, and I was just congratulating her and thanking her again on an amazing fucking podcast and piece of content. She told me that she was already getting a couple fucking a couple infusions here and there. But when you told me later that a $300 fucking flow came through, and then 100 on top of that. God damn, I was really surprised.
If anyone wants to fucking Venmo me,
yeah, what the fuck?
I'm at James-Harris- fucked it up. James-Harris-1. What's your Venmo?
And if you want to donate to my fucking Dart fund, you can hit Lawrence Schlossman. That's it, just straight up. The only one in existence.
No dashes.
One of a kind. No, straight through.
The only way we're gonna make money, more money than we already make, is through anonymous Venmos or if we fucking sell ourselves to Spotify.
Yeah, please. Please, if anyone's listening
like
to Spotify,
please.
Goddamn.
Goddess.
Alexandra
Cooper, who I did not match with on Raya. No, I did not match with the other one on Raya.
Sophia.
Of Call Her Daddy infamy.
Yeah.
So Call Her Daddy sold to Spotify. The Call Her Daddy entity itself.
The brand.
It was not bought by Barstool. I think the deal was like after a year, Call Her Daddy could had...
Clearly, they retained their IP because
own IP.
Yeah.
So $60 million for 3 years of Call Her Daddy podcast development, whatever.
$20 million a year, and I believe you're getting some of that money up front, dude. Bro. Like that's insane. Good for her. That's not Rogan money, but that's like right there. That's insane.
And why do we give a shit about this? It's because fucking Davey Paidrew's over here, the young Isaac Hinden Miller.
Yeah, which will make more sense next Tuesday.
Yeah. Whatever. He was talking about it on some show.
He has a show.
7 podcasts.
Right. He has one of his 7 podcasts is the Dave Portnoy Show featuring Eddie and Co. And I guess the guy Eddie.
Eddie's a fan of Beef Kit.
Yeah, Eddie, sponsored by Beef Kit, was interviewing Dave, and we put this clip on our social. And the reason we're addressing it is, one, because it's hilarious in its complete hypocrisy and bullshit, and then also the fact that people were clearly interested in us maybe dipping back into the saga again per the engagement and comments. Eddie was talking about how Dave had been very gracious with IP over the years, and
overall, not just with Call Her Daddy.
Just generally speaking, right? Because the whole thing was that Call Her Daddy, I think a lot of people thought that Barstool, when the whole drama with Call Her Daddy went down between the girls and then the Chin boyfriend from HBO Sports, who was acting as her agent, and Dave and all this stuff, and you can go back and you can fucking read our homie Taylor Lorenz article about this, but the whole thing was people like, oh, Barstool owns 50% of the IP. Well, clearly not, because Call Her Daddy or Alexandra walked with all $60 million, and I guess Dave, I listened to the pod, or parts of it, he kept Barstool retained the rights to produce the merch. So they're going to still make money. Okay. But in terms of intellectual property, this was an example of him actually being generous and gracious, and we got brought up as another example.
He's like, you've always been generous with the IP, failing upwards when it's here, which is now called throwing fits, and Portnoy was like, yep. And it's like, yo, the fact that when it was here, it was called failing upwards, and now it's called throwing fits.
You just perjured yourself immediately.
That's not... I'm no fucking IP lawyer, but that's, I think, immediately indicative of the fact that, no, we did not retain
the best
IP.
review was Dunk was like, this is literally when Rick James is like, for the real Charlie Murphy, Real Hollywood Stories Chappelle Show thing, he's like, I didn't fuck up his couch. Yeah, I fucked up his couch. He's like, what the fuck? What are you talking about?
We had the receipts.
Yes.
And also, like,
we're over it. It's done.
We've
done
had,
and dusted.
yeah, but we've had plenty of journalists.
Listen to the first episode of the show also if you want to know about this.
But we also had plenty of journalists be like, yo, as a former Barstool people, and especially when the Call Her Daddy drama was going down, they're like, do you want to talk about it? And we're like, no. Like,
Hell no.
We don't want to poke the bear.
We're not trying to be involved.
No, I will.
This is not our fight.
I will contend that I do think Dave Portnoy is a little shook of us. I will continue.
You're insane,
I will die on that hill.
Way.
I will die on that hill. We fucking roasted his ass to Bolivia, to his face when he came on the former podcast.
Great episode.
Named.
Yeah.
I would love for him to come on Throwing Fits.
Oh my god, it'd be incredible. I mean, never gonna happen, but it'd be sick.
He talked about his experience, and he's like, "Yeah, those guys fucking got me."
Well, his thing, again, listen to the first episode of this show where we kind of break down the entire, fumbling of the bag and Jeffrey Epstein manslaughtering the podcast and all the lore. If you're not familiar, it's very good. But I will say that what he did say was that these guys give it as well as they can take it, so it kind of didn't end. And he said this like on the radio, Barstool Radio at some point, but there was a mutual respect.
Sure,
we'll leave it at that.
We weren't beholden to Barstool, and we didn't owe them anything. But I think what we want to do here is we want to dismantle the notion that Portnoy was generous with us with the Failing Upwards IP. Because if that was the case, we would still be called Failing Upwards.
A name that I very much prefer.
Sure, existing independently, right? So on November 25th, 2019, I wrote to Nardini, and I think that we were kind of co-drafting these emails.
Yes, sure.
Whatever. As we begin the process of conscious uncoupling, LOL, what we're hoping to leave with is the Failing Upwards IP. All right, as well as the back catalog of episodes and our current feed of subscribers to minimize any audience loss. We're open to hearing what you think is best to do this, both from a top-line perspective and whatever technical nitty-gritty we need to handle to make it happen. We're ready to make this as painless as possible.
I love this. So pro. Jimmy on his fucking pro shit all the time.
A week later, Nardini, December 3rd, I caught up with Dave. The brand, social handles, and feed will need to stay with us. To do anything else creates issues for us, which I'm sure you can understand.
Right. Precedent.
Absolutely.
That's the precedent. That can't be set.
And the whole
especially
kind of
through bozos that no one cares about.
Background was like, yo, what if Big Cat was like, yo, my shit is vested, I want to walk or
I want to take PMT
part of my
with
take.
me. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So we understood those issues.
Sure.
And we kind of put out a set of potential terms that we were willing to agree to, and I said, this is just fucking.
You're great at email. I love it. That's why you should do every email.
Jimmy.
You should write every email ever.
Is it possible to connect on the phone Monday? This is December 8th, 5 days later. Is it possible to connect on the phone Monday to walk through these bullet points further? Bullet point the first: setting a precedent of a podcast walking. We are willing to sign a right of first refusal. We are willing to sign a right of first refusal clause to set the precedent, so that with every present and future podcast/talent, the ball's in Barstool's court about how the podcast/talent proceeds.
Yeah.
So we would offer to them. They would
Exactly.
be like, okay, we're passing.
Sure.
But
it's like a symbolic, but they could use it as legal precedent.
Exactly. But that means that anyone that comes to them that they actually do want to retain, because they were done with us.
Can I just say one point, because I know we're going to go through all these official things. It's so funny that when you and I were in, as we say, full Uncut Gems mode, putting this together, and we're like, yo, this is pro as fuck. We're getting legal advice on the side. We were talking to Big Cat at the time. Again, a lot of this is covered in the first episode. It's so funny to think that all of this completely fucking blew up in our face the second we were like, oh yeah, let's fucking steal the mics. We're joking around. We're having a good time. It's so funny in retrospect.
The right of first refusal clause, I think, would have actually probably assuaged their fears. All right, signing with a competing network, which they could have been like, oh, you guys are gonna just go sign with
Spotify,
Bro Bible or some shit.
Bro Bible.
We're willing to sign a non-complete clause for 12 months to ensure the Failing Upwards podcast doesn't move to another network.
Because
that's
standard.
We
knew we were just going to Patreon. We wanted to fucking roll the dice and see if we could just get money straight from our fucking best friends behind the paywall. And obviously, we were right.
This is funny. Barstool. Addressing Barstool losing money on Failing Upwards.
Yeah. This is good.
We understand Barstool has lost money on FU, and we're willing to make your $50K upfront investment whole by paying the difference in the form of a walk fee. So they gave us $25K each, and the deal was once they recoup that $50K in ad sales, then a 50-50 rev share would kick in. So the first 50,000 and first dollar, we would get 50 cents. They would get 50 cents.
Basically, what happened was when we did the pod for a year, it made barely any money. We had no incentive to try hard. We got them to agree to a minimum guarantee, basically in advance, like when you write a book or you sign with a label. And obviously, it should come as no surprise that advance of $50,000 was not even ever remotely recouped through ad sales or dog shit merch. Yeah. So we were willing to make them whole, which even at the time, you and I were like, this is a big risk. If we hit Patreon and the shit is fucking mids and middling, we could be paying them back. We were like, maybe for a year. Yeah. Little did we know that you guys had our fucking back.
1 fucking month. Thank you, best friends. All right, I thought this was a stroke of genius on my part, I assume. You were handsome and genius as well.
Thank you.
But I was like, this is going to fucking wet their dicks like none other. And this is like the fucking coup de grace, the finishing move.
Fatality.
On top of the walk fee, we were willing to offer Barstool 6 months of exclusive ad sales rights on Failing Upwards, with Barstool getting 100% of all ad revenue. That is just free money for them.
Right.
Right? Where like
ads which we still don't sell to this day.
Well, we intentionally...
besides Anchor or whatever, but that's only recently.
We turned down a lot of ads, but it's like, you will not pay for us.
Passive income.
Yeah. Whatever you want.
On top of the walkthrough fee.
Walkthrough fee.
Walkthrough. On top of the walk fee.
And then last, this is kind of like standard, but for optics, we will sign a non-disparagement clause in NDA to ensure we don't disclose any information and terms that we come to.
And the fact
we clearly did not sign because we just listed out all the terms that we offered up.
If you guys are bored at home and you don't want to listen to two like fucking 40-year-olds tell you how they're gonna fucking punch you in the face if you want to say hi to them on the street,
so violent.
Go listen to the first episode of Throwing Fits. It is a trip. We are on full turbo mode. We completely tell this whole story from front to back.
Not in this much detail, though. I don't think we've ever read.
No, we never read these emails. We read Nardini's final email where she told us to go fuck ourselves, obviously, because that's
so many words.
Because that's classic. But it's a beautiful trip down memory lane. And if you're not familiar with the kind of mythology that you're talking about with the show, on top of reading the profile in the New Yorker, which goes into some of this stuff, listen to the first episode of the show. It is honestly pure unhinged comedy, and honestly. I remember doing that in High Snobiety, right? Because Gene let us use Zijum and Bunka to record because we still are a pod without a home, right?
Yeah.
I just remember having so much fun in that first podcast and being like, you know what, man? Regardless of what happens, this is kind of the way the show was meant to exist as an independent entity that gives no fucks and will fucking
to be clear,
and we'll let it fly, bro.
To be clear, we deserved what we got by getting fucking excommunicated and just kicked out to the curb by Barstool.
Executed, bro.
But when Portnoy was like, when people are like, yo, you're so benevolent, you're so generous with the IP, and he's like, yep, for like Failing Upwards. It's like, bro, you literally just said Failing Upwards when they were with us, and now they're throwing fits. Yeah. If you had been generous with the IP, we'd still be fucking F you.
The final point that I would make is that, like, and I don't expect this Eddie guy to be super familiar with like the story. He probably had notes prepared for him by some producer or fucking intern just so that he could like, throw another name in there, right? And while Portnoy didn't say anything besides like yep, but in such a confident, delusional way that we felt compelled to talk about it. I will say that throughout this whole process that ultimately ended, by the way, in us butt fucking ourselves at the goal line, I will say that Erica Nardini, the token female CEO of Barstool, who had always been a fan and supporter of us and someone that unfortunately we had a great relationship with until we fucking ruined it, she always seemed like she was down for some portion of this. And as that first email kind of stated, it was Dave who was like, actually, no, because of pride
and precedent.
or precedent.
Pride and precedent.
For Pride and Precedent. That's a great album title right at the fucking buzzer. Anyway, so that's the fucking story there. Apparently you guys want the inside baseball stuff per the engagement on Instagram and Twitter, so here we are.
C'est la vie. And you know what? We're better off for it.
No, of course, we're fun.
Keep your fucking IP.
We are retired professional podcasters now only because we got fucked over because we fucked ourselves, and when it was all said and done, you guys were the ones that fucking had our back
we have to do
and
tomorrow,
helped us rise like a phoenix from the ashes.
The only piece of work that you and I have to do tomorrow, or me, is hit the fucking fruit smash plug, the smoot flash plug, and fucking maximize the amount of flow so that we can all go to jail on July 17th at the inaugural Throwing Fits barbecue.
And I think a great way to end it out is let's just do some Kanye Hold My Liquor, right? That'll be great.
Exactly. Chef, slap it on.